Moses goes to the Israelites, and you skip ahead to Exodus 35, and I really encourage you, challenge you, to go look at these passages, because it gets really specific, and it's much more than I could ever do in this short presentation. Moses says to the Israelites, God has given both Bezalel and Oholiab, son of Ahisamach. And here's the thing with Old Testament names. Say them with confidence, and everyone will think that that's how you say the name. Don't ever interrupt person. Just say, Ahisamach. That must be how you say it. How could it not be anything but Ahisamach? It almost sounds like I sneezed there for a minute. Of the tribe of Dan. Of the tribe of Dan. The ability to teach others. God has filled him with skill, craftsmanship, designers, embroiderers, blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen, weavers, all the master craftsmen and designers. They worked together and they collaborated. And I want you to notice something about both Bezalel and Oholiab. One, tribe of Judah. The other one, tribe of Dan, right? Not the tribe of Levi. Not the tribe of Levi. And their calling to be designers was just as strong as the calling of a minister. They weren't Levi, they were someone else. They had just as much of a calling to do what they did. And if there are creative artists in here, you have just as much of a calling to do what God wants you to do. Okay. I'm preaching to myself here. Now, let's see a little bit about a work of art. The Ark of the Covenant, which is exactly what Dr. Paul talked about last night. And I thought, this is he didn't know it until I told him. Bezalel creates the Ark of the Covenant. Gold, silver, everything that God's holy presence. The showbread, what is the budding rod? There you go. Yeah. Right there. The whole thing. He creates it. He's a teenager creating the Ark of the Covenant. And everything that goes in it is what Ten Commandments, etc. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say as an artist that your greatest work was the Ark of the Covenant, and that's all you ever created. I think that's a pretty good career. Would you agree with me? Yeah. It's like Carnegie Hall. It's like standing at the Metropolitan Opera or whatever it is, and all of that. La Scala in Italy, and you sang the aria and all of that, and you nailed it. And you said, that's all, that's it, I'm done. I did my one great performance, I'm done. Looks pretty good on the resume. I think Ark of Covenant, I could maybe teach Ark of Covenant at a Bible college somewhere. Yeah, Ark of the Covenant. That would be pretty good. Would you agree with me? Stirring in my heart for the last few months. Young visual storytellers, Bezalels, across this world are being ignored and completely unidentified. Unacknowledged is even a better word. Unacknowledged by pastors, church leaders, and missionaries. Because, and I can fully understand it, from a generation that is so into preaching and worrying about their Sunday sermon. I understand it. Listen, I'm a preacher's kid. I listened to 1,000 messages by my dad. And 1,000 messages at Bible college because it was chapel every Monday through Friday at 9:30. And they'd always start with Romans 12, living sacrifice. I've heard this one. I've heard this message. What time do we get out? I got a class at 10:15. Okay. I've heard thousands of messages. I get it. I get it. But here's the thing. Literally, across this world, there are hundreds of thousands of 12 to 30-year-olds, 12 to 22-year-olds, 12 to 25-year-olds that want to tell visual stories. They want to tell the gospel in a way that reaches a visual generation. And young people love visual. And they love stories. People have been telling stories for thousands of years. It is in our nature to tell stories. It's in our nature that someone from the Congo gets up with a drum and tells a short story that's so cool, bang, 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 nicely done. It is in our nature to tell stories. And in the oral tradition, before people were writing things down, it was very authentic, and you can count on it word by word without embellishment and exaggeration. You could count on it. Absolutely. And what's happening, you can't see it. Yeah, you can. Just made it down there. Hundreds of thousands. It might be millions. I don't know. Only God knows. How many visual storytellers are sitting in congregations waiting for someone to identify them, instruct them, and inspire them? And I'm going to tell you something. I said this yesterday in my class on visual storytelling in the afternoon. I said the church has about 5 years, maybe 10, to reach the 12 to 20-year-olds. 5 years, maybe 10. And if we don't reach them, they're gone. They're going to make a horror film. They're going to make a porno film. They're going to text something to someone instead of using the skills that are inside of them like a Bezalel for the glory of God. And I'm telling you, this is serious. It is serious. They have just as much of a right to tell the gospel of Jesus Christ as me standing up here with a microphone, or Dr. Becky, or Bishop Clarice, anybody that's been called for public speaking and ministry. They have just as much of a right. And they're there to help you. 2 billion videos are watched every day on YouTube. 2 billion. And we still think the 3-point sermon is what's necessary to get stuff done. I'll tell you one other thing. Quit spending so much money on equipment. It's not about the equipment. Where's my friend Andrew? Andrew has a trumpet. You can spend all the money on the trumpet you want, but somebody's got to play it.